I would like to invite Arthur Waskow, Rabbi and founder and executive director of the Shalom Center, to speak a little bit and tell us about Bill McKibben.
So as I said a little earlier to some of you, when I do what I really like to do is just talk from the heart, it gets longer and longer. I sometimes say, people ask a short question, I specialize in long answers to short questions. So since my... You can hear you, it's okay. That's what I thought. Since I... No, short answer, right. Since my most beloved rabbi is sitting there watching to make sure I don't take more time than I'm supposed to, I have lots of beloved rabbis, but one more than most of the others. So, what I really want to do is not just to introduce Bill McKibben, but to introduce us to Bill McKibben as well as Bill McKibben to us. So a very short introduction of the us. Who are the us? Who are the we? Churches, synagogues, friends meetings, power which connects all those kinds of congregations, and Equate, the Earth Quaker Action Team, which together are doing an action, a campaign, which you'll hear about a little bit more, and which the Shalom Center has had a special kind of loving relationship with, the Council on American Islamic Relations, the Philadelphia Interfaith Walk for Peace and Reconciliation, and many, many other religiously rooted eco-social justice organizations. Climate activists, 350 of Philadelphia, the Food and Water Watch, the Sierra Club, solar energy businesses, and a neighborhood solar co-op, indigenous peoples support groups, in all 60 co-sponsors. Their names are all individually in the list. I certainly am not going to overrun my time by saying all of them, but that range of people is who we, us, are, in covenant with each other. And who is Bill McKibben? Some of you heard me one little piece of who he is earlier, but I'll repeat it. Because his path to activism did begin as a Sunday school teacher who thought that Sunday schools classes should not be inside rooms but out hiking in the woods, and who taught people that St. Francis Day, the day of the Francis, who not only inspired him, but you notice, inspired the Pope who took the name of Francis, really connected deeply with the earth. And Bill taught his students to bring the earth into the Sunday school, that not only did their pets come on Francis Day, but their snakes, their mosquitoes, the creatures of the earth, which, as he said, the point was that it's all creation and it's all blessed. And from there, his life path led to what we probably know a good bit more about, his creative work, first in shaping the worldwide 350.org events, where you could look at this amazing array of people all over the world in their own forms, their own songs, all celebrating the importance of getting back to 350 parts per million CO2 in the atmosphere. And then is leading the opposition to the XL tar sands, the ultra-dirty oil pipeline. One of the crucial moments of his work was what happened in 2011, the demonstration at the White House, where he said afterwards, the police were surprised by how many people turned up on the first day of what were supposed to be 2 weeks of protest at the White House. So they decided to teach us a lesson. They wanted to deter anybody else from coming. So they decided to keep us in jail for 3 days, and in that cell block you lie on a metal rack with no mattress or bedding. No, you sweat in a high heat. The din is incessant. There's one bologna sandwich with a cup of water every 12 hours. And he wrote, it's only now 12 hours out and with a good night's sleep that I'm able even to think straight. And he wrote of how his already deep respect for Martin Luther King had grown even deeper as he realized what the conditions were under which Dr. King was able to write that classic letter from Birmingham jail. So the time is withering away, or I am, or something. So we know that the energizing of that movement against the pipeline won. But the pipeline had, like a hydra, several dozen poisonous heads, one or two of them still alive enough that the next president, the president was able to begin reviving it. And meanwhile, Bill went forward. He energized what became a worldwide effort to divest from investments in the carbon, what we call the carbon pharaohs. In 2016, during the election campaign, he wrote climate protective platform language for the Democratic Party platform. Since he was one of Bernie Sanders' nominees to the platform committee, and he tossed his pen, his presence, his face, his feet, and his energy into the People's Climate March that's just been passed. Now, Bill, comes the harder part. Facing the Trump presidency, what is resistance? And is resistance enough? Is there any way not just to stop the smoke of the lies and the burning carbon that's oozing every day from the White House, from the new EPA, the Earth Poisoning Agency, which used to be the Environmental Protection Agency? How can we connect the task of healing our climate to all the other tasks and values that we hold that are now being put upon the chopping block? So we look forward, Bill, to hearing your thoughts and sharing our own about what the next steps are going to be. And if you'll come up, we'll... Thank you, brother.